October 20, 2024. According to the British Transport Police incident report released on October 21, 2024, at 11:04 p.m., CCTV cameras at Bescot Stadium railway station in Walsall, West Midlands, captured a young woman walking alone onto Platform 1 after finishing a late shift at the Park Inn. The platform was empty. No other passengers, no staff in sight. She was Rhiannon Whyte, 27 years old, a mother of one, heading home. 7 minutes later, at 11:11 p.m., the same cameras recorded the first strike. A man approached from behind, screwdriver in hand, and began stabbing her repeatedly, 23 times in total, 11 to the head alone. Rhiannon's screams echoed through her phone call to a friend, "Help." The attack lasted less than 2 minutes. She collapsed on the platform, bleeding heavily from wounds to her head, neck, and chest. The man stepped back, stood over her, and began dancing and laughing. British Transport Police officers arrived at 11:15 p.m., following the friend's frantic 999 call. Rhiannon was airlifted to Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Birmingham, where she fought for 3 days before succumbing to her injuries on October 23, 2024. The cause of death was a fatal brain injury from multiple penetrating wounds to the skull. The man who did this was Deng Chol Majek, a Sudanese asylum seeker housed at the same hotel where Rhiannon worked. He had followed her from the hotel to the station with no prior connection between them. This was not a crime of passion or grudge. It was random, frenzied violence on a deserted platform. To understand how an ordinary evening walk home turned into a national tragedy, we need to step back to who Rhiannon was, the life she built, the family she loved, and the quiet routines that made her days feel safe. Rhiannon Whyte was born in Walsall in 1997, the middle child in a close-knit family of 5 siblings. According to family statements shared with ITV Central on October 24, 2025, following the conviction, Rhiannon grew up in a terraced house on the edge of town, the kind of place where neighbors knew each other's names and kids played football in the street until dusk. Her mother, Lisa White, described her in that interview as the funny one, the one who could make you laugh even on your worst day. Rhiannon met her partner at a local pub in 2016, and their son Alex was born in 2018 when she was 21. Alex became her world. Rhiannon worked part-time at a local cafe for a few years, saving for a small flat in Bloxwich. But by July 2024, she had taken a full-time night shift role at the Park Inn by Radisson Hotel in Walsall. The job paid steadily, allowing her to cover rent and buy Alex new trainers for school. Colleagues later told The Guardian on October 22, 2024, that she was the one who remembered everyone's birthdays and shared laughs during quiet shifts. Rhiannon was the light in the room. Rhiannon's routine was simple. Drop Alex at nursery by 8 a.m., work the cafe shift until 4 p.m., pick him up, make spaghetti for dinner, then head to the hotel for her 7 p.m. start. On October 20, she texted her mom at 10:45 p.m., "Shift done. Walking to station. Home soon. Love you." That text would be read in court as evidence of how ordinary the night felt. CCTV from the hotel entrance, as presented in Wolverhampton Crown Court on October 13, 2025, shows her waving goodbye to a colleague, phone in hand, smiling. Majek left the hotel 2 minutes later, according to the same footage. He had no ticket for the train, no bag, just a black hoodie and jeans. The walk to the station was unlit in spots, with Platform 1 serving late-night services to Birmingham. At 11:04 p.m., Rhiannon's phone pinged, a location near the underpass leading to the platform. She called a friend to chat about the shift, as per call logs from e-mobile records subpoenaed for the trial. The friend later testified, "Screams, 'Help! Someone's attacking me!' The call lasted 47 seconds. The first blow to the back of her head severed an artery. Rhiannon turned, phone dropping, and fought back, grabbing at his arm, as evidenced by scratches on Majek's sleeve analyzed in forensic reports. But the frenzy continued, stabs to the neck, chest, face. 11 to the head penetrated the skull, causing immediate brain trauma. According to the autopsy, the wounds were consistent with a sustained, deliberate assault, not a single strike. Rhiannon fell at 11:10 p.m., gasping. Majek stepped away, screwdriver dripping, and began a bizarre dance, arms waving, head bobbing, for 30 seconds, captured in high definition on the platform camera. He then walked calmly off the platform toward the exit, laughing audibly on the audio feed. Paramedics arrived 3 minutes later, finding her unresponsive but breathing shallowly. She was stabilized on site and airlifted, arriving at Queen Elizabeth Hospital at 11:45 p.m. Neurosurgeons operated for 4 hours, removing bone fragments and controlling bleeding, but the brain swelling was too severe. Her family arrived at 1:30 a.m. on October 21, holding her hand as machines beeped. Rhiannon died at 4:22 p.m. on October 23, 2024, surrounded by her mother, siblings, and partner. Her son Alex was told gently by his aunt, "Mummy's gone to heaven, but she'll watch over you always." A 27-year-old mother walking home after a long shift, phone in hand, chatting with a friend, reduced to screams on an empty platform in under 2 minutes. In that moment, Rhiannon's ordinary life, full of laughter, plans for her son, quiet routines, ended not with a reason, but with randomness. What kind of world allows a stranger's stare at work to turn into a blade on a train platform? With Rhiannon airlifted to Queen Elizabeth Hospital and the platform secured under flashing blue lights, the focus turned to the man captured on CCTV walking away from the scene, screwdriver still in hand. British Transport police officers, arriving just 4 minutes after the train driver's call, had already begun piecing together the fragments of what had unfolded in those 47 seconds of horror. The investigation that followed would reveal not just the randomness of the attack, but the quiet warnings that had gone unnoticed at the hotel where both Rhiannon and her killer crossed paths every day. According to the British Transport Police incident log dated October 21, 2024, officers first reviewed the platform CCTV footage at 11:30 p.m., less than 20 minutes. The video, timestamped from 11:04 p.m. to 11:11 p.m., showed Rhiannon emerging from the underpass onto Platform 1, phone pressed to her ear, her steps light after a long shift. She was dressed in her hotel uniform. The platform was deserted, the next train not due for 25 minutes. At 11:07 p.m., a figure in a black hoodie appeared from the shadows of the exit stairs. Deng Chol Majek, 6 feet tall, slim build, hands in pockets. He had no ticket, no reason to be there. At 11:09 p.m., he pulled the screwdriver from his sleeve, a standard flathead tool, 6 inches long, purchased that afternoon from a Poundland store near the hotel, as later confirmed by receipt scans from the investigation file. According to the arrest report, he complied without resistance, hands raised, saying only, "I didn't do anything." Handcuffed at 1:47 p.m., he was transported to West Midlands Police Headquarters in Birmingham for processing. Initial charges came at 4:00 p.m., attempted murder, grievous bodily harm with intent, and possession of an offensive weapon. Fingerprints and DNA swabs were taken immediately, with preliminary results by 6:00 p.m., showing Rhiannon's blood under his fingernails and on his sleeve. The screwdriver from his pocket matched the wound's dimensions per the forensic pathologist's preliminary notes. Majek was interviewed at 7:30 p.m. by Detective Sergeant Karen Holt, with an Arabic interpreter present. According to the custody record, he denied following Rhiannon, claiming he was just walking to clear my head and found her like that. When shown the CCTV stills, he said, "That's not me. I was home." By 2 p.m., DNA results confirmed a match. Rhiannon's blood on Majek's clothes, his skin cells on her phone from the struggle. He was re-interviewed at 6:30 p.m., now with murder read to him. According to the transcript, Majek repeated, "Not me, I found her," but refused to explain the DNA or CCTV. The interview ended at 8:00 p.m. when his solicitor arrived, requesting a psychiatric evaluation, later deemed unnecessary. By October 24, the arrest was official, Deng Chol Majek. No motive was alleged. Prosecutors described it as a random, unprovoked frenzy, but the CPS authorization memo, entered as exhibit in the pretrial bundle, emphasized the deliberate selection of Rhiannon as she walked alone, evidenced by the CCTV showing Majek's deliberate approach from the shadows. Majek's first court appearance came the next morning, October 25, 2024, at Walsall Magistrates Court. According to the court transcript dated that day, he was brought up from the cells at 10:15 a.m. standing in the dock in a gray sweatshirt provided by police, his hands cuffed behind his back. Judge Rachel Cox, presiding, read the charges through an interpreter. Deng Chol Majek, of no fixed abode but resident at the Park Inn, you are charged with the murder of Rhiannon White on October 20, 2024, at Bescot Stadium Railway Station. Majek had bowed, entered no plea at that stage, as is standard for serious indictable offenses. His defense solicitor, assigned from the duty roster, requested a full psychiatric assessment under Section 4 of the Mental Health Act 1983, citing Majek's age claim of 17 and potential cultural adjustment issues from his Sudanese background. The prosecution, represented by junior counsel from No. 5 Chambers, opposed immediate release but agreed to the assessment, noting the overwhelming CCTV and DNA evidence made flight risk low but public safety paramount. Bail was denied and Majek was remanded in youth custody at HMP Brinsford, a facility for under 18s 20 miles away in Featherstone, pending the psychiatric report. The hearing lasted 22 minutes, ending at 10:37 a.m., with Rhiannon's family watching from the public gallery, Lisa White clutching a photo of her daughter, tears silent. The psychiatric evaluation, conducted by Dr. Amit Patel from West Midlands NHS Trust on October 28, 2024, was filed with the court on October 30. According to the report, entered as Exhibit 17 in the trial bundle, with no signs of psychosis, delusion, or acute mental illness, the report recommended no diversion to mental health court, classifying him as fit to plead and stand trial. This cleared the path for the case to be committed to Wolverhampton Crown Court for plea and trial preparation. On November 1, 2024, the case was sent up from magistrates to Crown Court under Section 51 of the Crime and Disorder Act 1998. At the committal hearing, held via video link from Brinsford at 2 p.m. Judge Michael Cain accepted the papers and scheduled the plea hearing for November 21, 2024. Prosecutor Michelle Healy KC, leading for the CPS, outlined the evidence summary. The 47-second phone call, capturing the screams, the CCTV sequence showing the 23 strikes, and Majek's post-attack dance, the screwdriver with Rhiannon's blood and his fingerprints, and witness statements from hotel staff on his intense staring. Healy emphasized in her opening note, filed that day, this was not a momentary lapse, but a sustained assault on a defenseless woman selected at random for the crime. The plea hearing on November 21, 2024 at Wolverhampton Crown Court marked the formal entry of not guilty. According to the transcript, Majek was produced in person at 10:30 a.m., wearing a navy polo shirt from the prison, seated between two dock officers. Judge Cain, reading from the indictment, confirmed the charges. Justice served. But the randomness lingers, a reminder that one follow in the dark can shatter everything. In the hours after the jury's decision, Rhiannon's family gathered outside the court, their faces etched with a mix of exhaustion and resolve. Then, Rhiannon's sister, Alexandra White, 29, stepped forward, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands as she clutched a framed photo of Rhiannon laughing at a family barbecue. In an interview pooled with The Guardian and BBC News later that afternoon, Alexandra said, Rhiannon had a beautiful and bright future taken from her by Majek. The year since her death has been hell on earth, no end to the pain. The only relief is hoping he spends the rest of his life alone and unloved, just as he left her on that platform. She described the catastrophic loss, how telling 6-year-old Alex, Rhiannon's son, that his mother wouldn't come home had shattered them all. The scream that left that child that day will haunt me for the rest of my life, Alexandra told ITV News Central on October 24th, 2025, her words cutting through the camera's lens like the screwdriver had through bone. Alex, who turned 6 months after the attack, had been shielded from the trial but understood enough to ask, "When is Mummy coming back from heaven?" The family, including mother Lisa and brother Ryan, vowed to stay strong as a tribute to Rhiannon, the quirky one who put everyone else first, as Lisa put it in an Express and Star interview on October 25, 2025. They established a GoFundMe that evening, raising over £45,000 sterling, 0 pence, by November 26, 2025, for Alex's future education and a memorial garden at James Bridge Park, where Rhiannon once pushed him on swings. The conviction rippled outward, igniting a wave of public response that turned a local tragedy into a national conversation on women's safety and asylum system gaps. By 3:00 p.m. on October 24, justice for Rhiannon was trending across the UK, with over 15,000 posts in the first 24 hours, according to analytics tracked by The Guardian on October 25. Users shared CCTV stills from the trial, Majek's post-attack dance blurring into a symbol of callousness, and stories of women walking home alone demanding better lighting on transport routes. One viral thread from @TheFactsDude on October 24, 2025, dissected the Hotel Serco contract. Rhiannon worked where her killer lived. No security checks, no reports on staring. How many more? A post from @JenJustLaw on October 25 read, 23 stabs for no reason, because she was alone after shift. Justice for Rhiannon means CCTV everywhere, escorts for night workers. On October 25, 200 gathered at the station, laying candles and teddy bears on Platform 1, as covered by BBC News. Rhiannon's aunt Siobhan lit the first, saying she was brave, quirky, funny. Gone, because a system failed her. By October 27, memorials lined the hotel entrance with notes like, "Walk safe, sisters," from female staff, cited Rhiannon's death as a wake-up call, committing to a national audit of unlit transport walks. The Rhiannon's Law campaign, launched by Alexandra White on October 31 via change.org, called for mandatory staff training in asylum hotels on reporting uncomfortable behaviors and faster age verifications for arrivals, gathering 5,000 signatures by November 10, 2025, per ITV Central. Serco, under pressure, announced on November 5, 2025, enhanced security protocols, 24/7 guards, no mingle zones between staff and residents, and whistleblower lines, as detailed in The Guardian. Broader lessons emerged in parliamentary debates. On November 12, 2025, MPs referenced the case in a Home Affairs Committee hearing on channel crossings, with Shadow Minister Chris Philp stating, Majek's 3-month stay unchecked highlights backlog dangers. Rhiannon paid the price. Advocacy groups like Women's Aid highlighted the vulnerability double bind for night shift women, pushing for Uber-like safety apps on public transport, funded by a proposed £50 million sterling 0 pence safety levy, announced November 20, 2025. Rhiannon's impact touched lives far beyond Walsall. On November 1, 2025, her funeral at St. Matthew's Church drew 400 mourners, including hotel colleagues who wore pink, her favorite color, as a tribute, per BBC News. The service featured Alex releasing a balloon with Mummy's Angel painted on it, and readings from her GCSE drama script, a comedy sketch about strong women who laugh last. Nationally, the case fueled discussions on migration. Lessons distilled in reports. First, reporting thresholds. Hotel guidelines dismissed stairs as non-escalated, per Serco's October 2025 review. Second, transport isolation. Bescot's empty late-night platforms fixed by the £2 million sterling 0 pence pledge. Third, family silences toll, telling Alex haunted the Whites, underscoring child grief support needs, with the foundation now partnering NSPCC. Rhiannon's story warns of unseen threats, a 3-month hotel job turning deadly from ignored glances, a phone call from laughter to screams, friends, Rhiannon Sky White's life. A mom's steady steps home after shift, full of plans for her boy's future, cut short on a platform that should have been safe. Her memory fuels candles at Bescot, Bills for better lights, foundations for safer nights. If this moves you, don't stop here. Share her story. Demand the checks that save walks home, like this video to stand with families like hers. Subscribe for more on the unseen risks we fight together. One voice reported the stairs. Yours could light the path next time. A verdict closes the courtroom, but Rhiannon's echo lingers in vigils, reforms, a son's questions. From ignored glances to national audits, her loss carves space for change. But how many more platforms stay dark before we act? The awareness starts now. Report the unease, demand the lights, protect the walks. For Rhiannon and those still heading home,